Hello and welcome back to the training tutorial on the GPS portal. In this particular episode, in this particular episode, I will go through with you the type of reports that is available on the portal for usage by you, the user. So to navigate to the report section, just simply by clicking on reports, and the listing comes up with all the different types of reports. So I'm just going to go through with you one by one. So in this particular instance, the first one would be speeding. So you can set a limit for your fleet. In this particular instance, you could just use one value, and if it exceeds that particular value, just saying 65 kilometers per hour anywhere, it will it will you'll be able to get the speeding report. Sorry, I was just thinking others, but this is just a speeding report. Um, Mileage, the distance traveled over a particular period of time for a fleet, or particular vehicles. You can select as you like. All of them are just selected vehicles. That could have been done. Idle time for the fleet as well to a particular vehicle over a period of time. You set a limit for, say, if you want to know anything of excess of 5 minutes, you'll be able to put that value in and run that report. So, okay, so just to note that the idle condition would mean a vehicle stop with the engine running or the ignition on primarily. A stop report would indicate a stop with of the vehicle with the ignition off. That should be noted clearly. Again, you can use the entire fleet or just select vehicles or a particular vehicle over the time range. Stop duration minutes in excess of say 2-3 minutes, and then the report will compile and send information in relation to any stopping exceeding this set value that you would have inputted here. All right, and it gives you the information. These are just the fields that is how it's going to report. I just to mention as well too, there are different types of reports, formats of reports you can actually get. So in this particular instance, you can get a web report, you can get a PVS report, a CSV report, or an Excel report. Fuel consumption primarily deals with these three instances deals with if you're using an OBD2 tracker, and you'll be able to capture the information. This would actually give you the fuel consumption in relation to that. Then you have detailed data, so this just gives you some information in relation to the fleets again over a period of time in terms of its longitude, latitude, speed, ignition status, any inputs. You'll be able to get the information. Data interval, this just tells you if when the last data was received by a vehicle. Consumable allocation primarily gives you, there's a feature within the system whereby you can add consumables, and as you use them or utilize them on your fleet, it's deducted and it's appropriately recorded in the system. You can get information, you can get sensor data, like for instance if you're measuring temperature. In this particular case you just have two scenarios where the signal strength or external battery voltage. These are all sensors. Tachograph we're not using, accent construction we're not really utilizing. Sensitivity interval, this just gives you an interval indicating of vehicles not reporting within a specified period of time. Then you have productivity reports, you have POI visits, so this would actually give you visits to particular POIs, okay, visits to particular POIs over a period of time, and it would actually indicate the start and the time of the trip, the end and time of the visit, sorry, start and time of the visit, and the time of the visit, duration of the visit. You will get to see that information here. POI first visits gives you the information in relation to visits to specific POIs or a group of POIs, and whether an input was activated or not within a POI. In this particular case, for instances, we have for examples, ignition on, ignition off, or PTO engage or disengage. Then a POI entry exit report gives you the point of entry and point of exit for a particular geofence for your fleet as well too, so you get to see exactly what type of report this was, whether it's an entry or an exit. Location analysis deals with analyzing data in a particular period, in a particular location that is not a reference or is not a POI. So this gives you insight as to whether or not a vehicle would have been within this vicinity over a particular period of time. So this is very useful tool, a very strong and powerful report to be utilized in the event of analyzing a particular visit at a location that is not referenced. Inside location primarily gives you which vehicles were inside a particular zone or particular POI over a period of time. Location trip summary indicates just what it says, gives you a summary of the trips, starting time and location, average moving time, maximum speed, distance, duration. Driver behavior gives you, again, depends on the type of fleet that you're monitoring. This gives you information in relation to your fleet, the driver, the vehicle, excessive braking, aggressive acceleration, rapid turn, idle time, distance, and total speeding time. The activity indicates for your fleet over a period of time or day, uh, starting time, ending time, driving time, stop time, total distance, maximum speed. Good indicators of performance of the fleet. Vehicle driver KPI does the same thing. Um, Basically, just gives you this information in terms of excessive braking, aggressive acceleration, rapid turns, idle time, driving time, engine run time gives you the engine run time for the vehicle. Trip summary just indicates the type of trips and the data are associated with those trips. Starting time, duration, location, ending time, start time. Okay, we're not using interest first cost, detail cost we're not using, excessive drive time is something that we're not using at this time. Lead start early finish, we're not using this, but it's available if required. Input report just simply indicates, for instance, every time the ignition is turned on and turned off, or if anytime the PTO is engaged or disengaged, you can have this. Done. System input reports basically gives you specific events in relation to ignition, aggressive acceleration, excessive braking, rapid turn, accidents, various events associated with, or the external power connection. You can get this type of report once it's activated. Driver ID tag usage. This is something where you'll be able to tell, if you're using driver ID system, which driver is assigned to which vehicle at what particular point in time. Fuel report. There's a feature, and there's an administrative feature available in this particular portal that allows you to add refuels for your fleet in terms of adding when the fuel is purchased, where it was purchased, the date and time it was purchased, the quantity that was purchased in terms of liters, and the cost. So by having this of information entered into the portal, you'll be able to run this fuel report to get an exact idea in terms of your fuel usage for your fleet over a particular period of time, more likely like a month. Trip events, anything associated with trip events within trip, you'll be able to see here. Journal entries. There's another administrative feature available on the portal where you can keep track of expenses in relation to your vehicle outside of fuel, like maintenance and repairs. You'll be able to see all these entries and associated costing for your fleet. Driver status, if you're using driver summary, it actually gives the driver status. DCT, if you're using OBD tracker, you'll be able to get to see the diagnostic troubleshooting codes for the fleet, if any is present actually. Asset assignment, we're not using that. Output command, we're not really using that. Now, for the security reports, there's a geofence report that gives you information in relation to the time within a specific geofence. So it gives you the name of the geofence, vehicle, the starting time, end time, and duration of being in that zone. Same thing goes for no zone. Unauthorized usage as well too. Gives you the vehicle traveled. If this rule is set up, it gives you the usage of the vehicle for the unauthorized period of time. There's a log report. Dispatch reports you're not using. System input reports. This primarily just does with user listing, vehicle listing, very specific to your operations. Then there are various compound or custom reports. So compound report actually allows you to run different scenarios for your vehicle, which will be explained a bit later on. And then there are custom reports as well too. That is available, like distance driven, fuel distance, fuel consumption by distance, fuel summary, upcoming odometer, engine hours. This has to do with maintenance primarily. Primarily. Then there's a stop report that allows you to view stops and to exclude certain points of interest. Points of interest at a particular period in time. So this is just a summary in terms of what is available reporting wise. It in the portal. Of course, these reports can be run on a ad hocly. That is the way that we're doing it right now. Or you can set up scheduled reports as well too. That it can be sent to you. Specific reports can be sent to you via emails for a set particular period of time in different formats. As you can see, PDF, CSV, Excel. You select the users for which you want it to be sent to, any drivers, the reporting frequency, daily, 7 days, 2 days, 1 month, and then you have the various criteria that you can actually use here. This is you can modify this to include the relevant data in your report. Once that is set, the report is automatically hailed to you at the frequency set at that time. So, thank you.